Crack open an Avo for us, Ninch.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Start the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It's good how we involve healthy choices in our meetings.
I think so, for sure.
Rather than...
You've hammered that into us for many years now.
Yeah, I didn't give you a choice.
You threw out the microwave when I got here.
Yep. Sat it out in the laneway.
Oh, how good is that?
Cool, huh? Mono meal. Sweet one, isn't it?
It is really sweet. Oh, bloody delicious.
Very good. It's part of it. The old
Now
spilling.
we're ready to talk.
Yeah.
Tell us about how you started with SCT, what it is today. Tell us about how our treatment came to be.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky enough to have a good mentor back from 1999.
Mm-hmm.
He's still my mentor today. And his name was Robert Young. And he taught me all about fascia and connective tissue, but also how the emotional kind of content of our body is actually trapped and stored in the fascia, so in this connective tissue in the body. And more kind of importantly, it's right into the joint, so in the nooks and crannies, I suppose. So there's a twofold thing. So there's like the physical pain, but also it's where emotional pain is embedded as well. So every time we go through an emotional experience, we have chemical releases, and we go into assume certain postures. So we might not want to hear things, or we might want to push things away, or we might not be processing stuff that well. Yeah. So our stools will be loose, or we'll be backed up and constipated and holding onto our shit. So, and all these different postures and all this different physical representation is of the emotional kind of experience that we perhaps haven't processed that well and understood. So when we actually work into the body, push into the body, we're actually pushing into not just physical pain, but also some emotional pain. Definitely. So whenever that's laid in there from the cortisoids and the postures and all that sort of stuff, we might not even know it, but that represents that impactful emotional time in our life. So when we work into that, it's sort of it's not there in that kind of same representation anymore. It's sort of released out.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's what we actually deal with. So going back to Robert, he was worked in postural integration. So what that pretty much means is that it's combining Rolfing, so Ida Rolf from the 60s and 70s, all her structural integration work, the really slow fascial work where it's deep and slow and really trying to work on the posture and opening things up and balancing things right out. Yeah. And also combining Reichian work and stuff from Alexander Lowen. So Reich worked alongside Jung and Freud, so he was the lesser known of the characters, but he worked right into how the body and mind kind of were connected, and how movement and chakra work and breath work and things like that all kind of helped the emotional stuff get moving. So he worked with that rather than just sort of all just in a chair and psychoanalyzing. He was right into how to get the body moving and shake out your shit type of thing. Yeah. So get it moving and so what happened was all of Ida Rolf's work was bringing up lots of emotional stuff, but they didn't necessarily have the skills and that to support when the emotional stuff was coming out. So they were kind of digging into all the nooks and crannies. They were straightening people up, but because of all the postures that they'd assumed from going through this emotional experience, that was opened up again, and they didn't know how to kind of process or actually have insights into what's actually been going on.
Yeah, why is that happening?
Why is that happening? Why, if I work on my foot, I start to make decisions better, or if I work on the stomach, I start to process things better, like conceptually, or work on the jaw or work on the throat. We actually can express and kind of say our truth, say stuff that we've been perhaps holding on to, you know, working through the heart, opening that up, softening this through here. That actually has a effect on how we are emotionally and how we kind of, our self-value and worth and that kind of stuff. So that's what happened. The two things meshed together in a way, and that was postural integration.
Yeah.
So I kind of had that background back when I was probably a bit young and wasn't developed enough emotionally and experienced enough in life to understand how it all kind of fitted together. But I had that kind of in the back of my mind, and like whenever I've been working on people ever since, I've known that can be an emotional kind of element that I'm bringing out, and it's up to me to kind of hold the space and also to support them and perhaps giving them some tools or kind of some insights and things to look at to help their healing journey out even more.
I guess that's why we attract so much chronic pain, people suffering in chronic pain, because we're able to not only access that pain on a deep level due to our hands-on work, but we can actually help them through the emotional baggage that's coming out when we release those physical points.
Yep.
So